Welcome to Girls Who Read Porn. Please be advised that this podcast contains mature content for mature audiences. The title might have given that away though. We would also advise you triple check the trigger warnings of each book prior to the episode, and if it's not for you, we'll see you next week. Each episode includes major spoilers, so make sure you read the book, and don't say we didn't warn you. With all that in mind, on with the show. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Girls Who Read Porn. I'm here with Ola.
Sup?
Great.
Hey. What's
And
going on? What's the latest? What's the greatest?
Hello, how are we?
Good. Ola's apparently just not with us today.
Yeah,
No, I'm really actually out of it, and I'll tell you why. Because I was literally about to tell you, and then you're like, tell me. And then I was like, I'll say it on the podcast. I accidentally got drunk at lunch yesterday and then was just hungover for the whole evening. And so I'm feeling very strange today because I immediately I prefer daytime drinking because you kind of sleep through the hangover, but I started a little bit too early and just finished. I didn't keep going.
If you start at actually brunch and you go pretty hard at brunch, you're fucked by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You need to go to bed then.
For dinner. And I had to not have a headache and not be an asshole. And
the only times that we've ever day drunk, me and G, it's ended badly. It's ended
and
awfully.
It's gone well into the next morning.
Yeah. Okay,
it's
so here's
generally
the thing.
been a 24-hour thing.
I normally only day drink. I don't night drink. Because as we all know, I can't stay awake past 9 o'clock. So really my only option is day drinking. And I have not really properly drunk in about a year maybe, and then last weekend Canada Day hit, and that was the year before that was the last time I got pissed. So I was like, I'm gonna be fine, no worries, I'm gonna come in hot. I go to the bar and I'm like, I will take 4 Caesars and 4 Canadian clubs and your best poutine, give me some fucking wings, I'm ready. Within an hour, I didn't know what planet I was on.
No, I feel I'm in Canada right now. Cool.
Honestly, probably. I had 15 whiskeys and I started off the dance floor once Shania Twain came on.
Nice. You guys, I feel like you guys have been super social last night, but I've been sick, so I literally just watched 3 movies in a row.
I wish
kind of wished. Yes, I was about to say, I kind of wish people went there, but I really wanted to see them because I go overseas in 2 weeks and I wanted to see, because I'm not going to see anyone for 2 months. And I was watching Dance Moms and I would have probably preferred to stay and watch Dance Moms.
Just watch Dance Moms for 6 hours.
Before I left,
I'm going to do that
out, George started watching Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's one of my favorite movies.
It's pretty.
I've never seen
it. Was good. It was the first time I had seen it last night, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And
okay.
She put it on, and it was getting very close to 5 o'clock, and I ended up being late because I just sat watching the movie.
Oh, I'm not surprised. The amount of times that I've just been like, what if I just tell them that I randomly got gastro? It just hit me, and I just can't do anything.
Sorry,
now.
guys, I'm shitting my pants, so you're just at home curled up.
And I'm in a bit of a situation right now. This is big news. Josh, my partner, so proud of him, is one of the top real estate agents in Australia. He won some awards this week, which is massive, craziness. So we've had to be social. So I haven't really had a choice. So I'm overly social this week, and he sold a property and he was in the news for it and stuff like that. So people are just let's go have a beer. Let's go have a wine.
Everybody would be wanting to hang out with them.
And I'm just pretend that I'm dead. I don't really want to go. But you know what? If he wants me there, then fine. You did it. You killed it. I'm proud of you. But just pretend I'm dead.
My favorite thing is we've met Josh obviously through calls and stuff. And when he's a fucking idiot and
the biggest.
and then he comes out and pulls an award out of the water and you're like, dude, who is he in his professional life?
It's just blind confidence. Just sailing by.
So fucking smart when it comes to real estate. Last night they were talking about how to you know when you have that couple friend that comes over, I fucking love them to death, but you know you're going to end up talking about politics and money and like mortgages and shit. They're our friends. Like that's the couple. And I'm not going to say their names, but the guy, he and Josh were sitting there talking about like fixed and variable rates on mortgages. And like when I listened to him talk about that, I'm like, you tried to fart on me yesterday. It doesn't compute.
Do you think he's used up like all of his brain cells to go towards like real estate and money and stuff, and then that's why he calls you like every hour to be like, what button on the TV do I push to change the channel?
You guys have seen it. You guys have seen it firsthand that if he goes to the grocery store, he has a full-blown fucking meltdown, and I at least get 3 or 4 phone calls being like, which burger buns should we get? I don't know, burger buns, yeah, but which ones? Do we feel like brioche, or do we want white, or do we want wholemeal? I don't eat wholemeal. See, this is why I called. I have used the same
7 years.
I have used the same fucking laundry detergent for 6.5 years, and every single time he goes to the shop to buy laundry detergent, I 100% of the time get a phone call. 100%. Which one do I get? Like,
there's something weird about like men, and like where do they store their information?
Yeah, like Dane's the same thing, I think. Like Dane's so silly.
But
then he starts talking about his job and like maths and shit. Because obviously a lot of his job has like a lot of maths in it. And it's like, who is this man?
I know, like, I know that you just sold a major property which nobody thought you would get a price like that for it, and you sent me a fart video.
Yeah.
It doesn't compute for me. Like, and the thing is, we had an inspection and our place is rented through his company. So one of the ladies came in who's really beautiful, love her to death. And she was like, oh my God, it was so, like, everyone just thought, you know what, Josh is just so smart and just so mature and, like, so all these things. And it was so well-deserved that he got, like, top agent, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is a person who asked me where our forks are. So I've been in a bit of a fucking twilight zone this week.
Fair enough.
And I sold my car, and the last thing the guy asked me, and I wanted to bring this up because, men, if you're listening, don't fucking do this shit. He bought the car for his pregnant wife and asked me if it was safe to fuck his girlfriend in the back of it.
I mean, like, as long as the car's not moving, of course it's safe. Like,
why would you even ask that? Because men are stupid. But he's like a civil engineer, so he should know something like that.
And also, I just feel like if you look at the back seat, you go like, is there enough room? Yes.
It's a fucking 4-wheel drive.
Wait, so he's cheating on his wife?
His wife lives in India. She's pregnant with their daughter. He bought the car for his wife because she's coming over in a month. And he's got his girlfriend in Australia. Which is very common. Super common with...
You should tell her.
How am I going to tell her? I blocked him on the moment I slammed the door in his face and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And he drove away and I blocked him on everything. I was like, thanks for the cash. Get fucked. How am I meant to find her?
I don't know. Do some internet sleuthing.
I don't have the energy to get involved in an arranged Indian marriage. Skills. But thank you. No, I do have the skills. I found the CEO of Southwest Airlines' personal phone number.
Oh, I remember the story.
Exactly. Don't tell me I don't have the FBI skills.
Anyway, we're talking about a book this week, which we do every week when we finally get to the part where we do talk about the book. And this book is Fractured Freedom by, is it Shane or Shine? Shane?
Don't you mean this book is shit?
Shane Rose. Calm down, Ola.
I can't. This book was so fucking funny.
If you have something to say, you say it respectfully and intellectually.
I don't have the energy for that with this book.
All right, ratings, team. I give it a 3 stars.
That's so kind.
It is pretty kind. I give it Sadie's barking.
I give it a Sadie's barking.
I give it a Sadie's barking. I think I'm gonna give it like a 2.5.
It gets like a 1.5 from me, but like 5 for entertainment. Like it was super entertaining. I was laughing my ass off, but the book was so shit.
After
I don't understand
that's why I'm giving
why
it a 5 for
how can
entertainment.
Ruthless Boys like be like one of your favorite book series, but then you can give something like this like less than it. Like that they were the same book.
No, they weren't.
Except one of them was like 6 times as long.
No, they were not the same. Don't even fucking go there. I do not have the energy to fight anyone today.
They were so the same.
I'm gonna read the plot.
What? All 600 of them?
Fuck off. Let me get this out and then you can go to
please.
town.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. A brother's best friend, second chance romance. Okay. It is so bad. Is it so bad that I tricked my older brother's best friend into taking my virginity? Maybe.
Yes.
In my defense, it was Dante Reed, my crush, my first love, and the one I ended up pushing away. Our paths split in opposite directions. I went to college on one coast while he returned to work with the US Army on the other. The end, or so I thought. After graduating and attempting a bucket list of self-discovery, guess who I find standing outside the jail, bailing me out for a crime I didn't commit? Dante fucking Reed. This time with more muscles, more tattoos, and more demands. One of which is to move in across the hall from him. Wait, what? One of which is to move in across the hall from him so he can keep me safe. Like I need protection after a little felony mix-up. I don't.
Sometimes I wonder like how can you read?
The sentence
like,
is not
I listened, and I doubt your
shit.
ability.
Like the writing is that shit that she's trying to make it readable.
It's pretty convoluted.
It doesn't make that sentence doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. It's not her
No.
fault. That's why I'm laughing, because it just gives you a full fucking idea of how the book's gonna go.
Like I need protection after a little felony mix-up. I don't, unless it's from him. Because Dante has been my downfall before, and living next to the guy I gave my innocence to a long time ago may actually end in my complete devastation. Okay. Alrighty. That was
wasn't
bad.
a good blurb.
That was bad. I struggled.
Remember last time when I read the blurb for Birthday Girl, and I was like, that was the best blurb I've ever heard. That was the opposite.
Yeah, that was not a good blurb. Yeah, this book. Go on, I'll just let it out.
Just unleash it.
I
Let it
just do
out.
not understand how the military, the mafia, and special ops.
They're like combined. It's like a fucking Power Rangers.
She was like, it's so obvious that the mafia is in the military, and like
How they
she's trying to
said
make you
it, they were
feel
like,
you're-
yeah,
like, obviously.
Like when the guy kept going, like, come on, like it's the 21st century. Of course, the mafia.
Of course,
It's like
obviously. And do you know where I think she got that fucking idea from? Is The Godfather, because how he went to the army and then he became the Don. That's the only way. That's the only place where I can think, she came up with this idea, because it makes absolutely no sense. There is no way that and how mafia are you? Because you're talking about how you're not even involved with that family. Listen, I have so many questions. You're talking about how you're not even involved in that family, and then all of a sudden you're in Puerto Rico and people like running in different directions when they hear your name.
I just don't. There wasn't a lot of backstory. I'm also
so
getting kind of
confused.
like a
There
little bit
wasn't much
sick.
I
setting
didn't
up.
understand his relationship with his father. Because
His
at
father's
one
dead,
point
I'm
I was
pretty
under the
sure.
impression that he had no relationship with his father, and then he's using his father's name to get shit that he wants because he has a really good relationship with his father's family. So I was really confused about that. And then I was also really confused about the fact that somehow he had like magic tricks up his sleeve to change fucking jeans into a skirt in one scene.
I remember that. When she came down the stairs in a pair of jeans and they got into the bathroom and all of a sudden she was in a
jeans.
skirt. Yeah. I'm kind of getting a little bit sick of reading books where the main character is called Dante.
Yeah, that was B's major gripe with this. Like, how many Dantes have we read?
I don't
So
know,
many.
2?
No, way more than that.
Oh,
Way
wait,
more.
no, because Anna has one, Pen Pal,
Ruthless,
this
Boys,
one's Ruthless.
Now Friction.
This
Fractured
one, I'm pretty sure we've read a
Freedoms.
Mafia one where a character's called Dante in it.
Yeah, okay, but can I just say, you're allowed to have a Dante in Mafia books.
No, I'm just come up with better names.
Enzo?
It's starting to feel like
Enzo.
stereotyping. Yeah, Enzo, and Dante, I feel
Yeah,
like, are the common
Lorenzo.
ones.
And then,
That plot didn't really give us like a good
no,
idea
but I
of what
just
the
want
book's
to
about.
continue. Okay. Why the fuck with the twin, just the twin situation, just it got so cringe by the end of it. But let's start from the beginning. They get caught in the airport, and then she's like, I no longer do drugs, but I work undercover for drugs. And like anyone who is a recovering addict would not be put in that situation. Am I wrong in saying that? Because I think it was absolutely fucking insane
I
to give
don't.
drugs to a recovering drug
They
addict.
do address that. Like
But it's
they
a
talk
bullshit
about it in depth.
address.
Yeah, but it's like because it was her decision. It's not like they made her do it.
And
It was
also,
her
like, she got
decision.
clean of drugs at 17, and I think she was about 26.
And her family, this is the next thing. They're all the fucking Kardashians, apparently, because they all have a name that starts with the same letter, but they just hate this one chick.
Yeah. Yeah, like how they gave it. What is it? Everybody
Isabel.
had like a
D names, and then she was called
D names,
Izzy. Yeah.
and then it's so funny.
And then she's in love with him at the end of it. And then they're like, okay with the thing. And it was just, that would have been a better story. If from the beginning, two twins were in love with the same guy and they were like fighting it out or some shit.
That would have been a good plot line.
That would have been a great plot
That would have
line.
been
But
really
instead,
good. Yeah.
we have this fucking stupidity that was given to us
Lots
on a
of-
platter. Fucking TikTok. Fucking
Lots of ups and
TikTok.
downs.
to TikTok, but I think the way that they handled her infertility was like awful.
Yeah.
Like they just didn't handle it. Like they just didn't write about it well at all. It was kind of like this weird plot point that wasn't ever addressed properly. It wasn't dealt with properly.
Yeah. That was actually one thing that I was talking to Betty about just after we read it. I was like, so they've obviously described her miscarrying like before like the big plot of the book starts, and her like feelings of like shame and stuff around it. But they don't ever like address the fact that like she kept it all to herself. She didn't tell anyone. They never say that like that's like a bad thing. Like they almost sort of be like that's what's expected. Like it's normal to like not tell, like distance yourself from your entire family, not tell anybody and suffer in silence. Like it was
But
really
also
weird.
the epilogue.
Where she ends up
The
having a
epilogue.
kid.
That was really how she had another miscarriage in the epilogue.
Yeah, but,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was like a completely rushed thing.
Yeah,
Like, it was just, like,
so,
thrown in
it
there
was
for no
actually just
reason.
kind of offensive, to be honest.
That's what I was
just
thinking.
and
And then after all that, they end up having a kid anyway. And I was like, well, if you're gonna make such a big deal about the possibility of infertility within a relationship, don't like disregard all of that struggle and then be like, oh, but they had a kid anyway.
Yeah.
Like, how about we
It's
have
not
like a
very
happy,
realistic, is it?
How about we have a happy ending, a happy family ending where they just don't have children?
Yeah,
like-
where it's not hinged
or
on the
they have to find a different way of having children.
Like IVF.
Yeah.
So
IVF,
this reminds
adoption.
me of T.L. Swan's epilogue with Elliot about how they tried like 13 rounds of IVF. Man, I cried through that epilogue. Like 13 rounds of IVF, and finally they went through a surrogate. But like the fucking shit they had to go through, and it was only like maybe 100 pages, and you went through a whole thing with it. That was a proper epilogue.
Yeah, I just don't know if I just don't know if it needed to be a plot point at all. I think
really
there was
missed
so
this.
much happening in the book already with fucking him being like, I don't know, apparently the scariest man in America, both within the government
Shut
and
up. That actually just makes me angry because I don't understand how anything that is like it was meant to be a military book. The military was in there for 2.2 seconds.
yeah, I didn't know it was a mafia book actually. No clue until we.
Yeah, well,
It's
you
not a
just straight
mafia
up thought it
book,
was
though.
military, eh?
I thought it was military. It's technically advertised as a mafia novel.
It's not a mafia book.
I mean, it's not, but that's what it's advertised as.
Yeah,
but I
well,
didn't-
then she needs to go back to school because it's not a mafia book.
well, it's
I
more
feel very
mafia than it is
strongly about
fucking
this.
I don't
military.
know what the
No,
fuck
it's
it is.
special
It's a
ops.
fucking
It's a
it's
special
a
ops
secret
book.
keeping book. That's true because it's not like military. It's like that's the dark ops.
He's a killer.
This is their secret, even from the highest levels of the government. That's classified. How many times did he say that's classified at the beginning?
He's got
Oh
the
my God,
skin
I
of a
just
killer,
honestly-
Bella.
And he was just like, listen, I hate saying about this about men, but he just seemed like the biggest bitch.
Hmm.
I just thought that he was
just in terms like with his interactions with her.
Yeah, like it was just like shut the fuck up and just do something. Like just everything was just so forced and fake and just ugh. But it was so funny.
One thing also. Okay,
I will say
the
thing I liked about this book, it was entertaining because it was ridiculous.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One thing that I found offensive was he was the classic, you know, they did like the whole like alpha male possessive shit, but she was literally there to like recover from having a miscarriage and like trying to like move on with her life, and she had all this stuff that she wanted to do to learn to like be by herself because she had to go through all of that by herself. And he just completely disregards that. Like
the emptying the restaurant scene, forcing her to tell him what happened.
Yeah.
Wrong.
And just being like
Wrong.
you can't go anywhere. Like, I don't care. Like, you're not leaving this hotel. Like, you can't go anywhere. And she's like, I'm here to live because I haven't lived for the past like few years. It was fun. It was too much.
The
too
bit
much
towards
alpha.
the end where obviously like she gets injured in a kidnapping, which is another thing that just didn't need to
I
happen.
forgot
But
she
anyway,
got kidnapped. That's how much shit happens in this book. I forgot she
When
got
she
kidnapped.
gave herself up as like the replacement.
Yeah, I
Right,
actually
so then-
fully forgot about that.
And then so she's in her house and she's trying to recover and she's going like she's trying to deal with her trauma and she's like, I'm not going with you. I don't want to leave with you. I just want to be alone. And then he just like kidnaps her.
And her parents.
Her parents are like, well, if you
Her
didn't want
father?
to go, you wouldn't go.
It's like,
father?
just she's outgoing.
I read that and I thought Betty and G are gonna have a fucking field day with this bit. I remember thinking that when I read it, that this is no bueno. Something is not good is gonna happen after we read
And
this.
it's weird that like he spends more time convincing her parents and her brothers
than
than he does her.
And he cares more about like what her brothers think.
Her brother,
Weird.
her
And then the
older brother,
fight.
like Dominic or whatever, was like the only rational character in this whole thing because he was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you putting my sister in danger? Like, why have you done this to her? Like, why are you fucking my little sister, dude? That was the only rational character. And then
Things
everybody
that
was
made
mad
me-
at him. Everyone was
I
like,
did like the little bit before that scene where like she comes and she's standing at the top of the stairs and everybody's like thinks that she's just mad at him because he put her in danger and he's like, no, she's mad at me because Isabel kissed me and I didn't want to, and she's just like, yeah. I liked that bit, like in front of the whole family.
Yeah, but I
was
also
yeah,
thought like
Mom.
the lack of communication.
yeah, it was a miscommunication book.
Just went on and on and on because
It
it's like
never
she got through like
ended.
the boat kidnapping thing, the cruise ship, and then she comes back and then she sees Isabel kissing him, and then there's that, and it just keeps going.
Can I like just play this? This is like a voice message I got of Ola while reading the book.
So stupid. It's so
Cackling.
It was like 50% of the way through the book.
I thought it was the funniest book ever because of how stupid it was. Like, I genuinely was entertained, but then by the end of it, I was just annoyed. By the end of it, I was like, okay, this is just stupid.
That ending
Like,
was weird. Me and George were
I didn't
talking
like
about
the
this.
ending.
Like, why was
The
the
ending
sister
was
so
so weird.
obsessed with bringing up like her being in love with Dante and the kiss?
Yeah, they kept on bringing up and like joking about it, and then it literally says in the book there's like a line that's like, we can laugh about this now, and I was like, but we can't, we the audience, it was like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Like, stop.
Leave
But
it
her
alone.
sister being in love with her husband, and then be like, haha, remember when you were in love with Dante?
I kind of want
What?
to read the next one to see how bad it is.
Is it about the twin sister? And
Yeah,
another
and it's
guy?
about that like
Yeah.
creepy guy who like stalks her and he's like super possessive. But I don't recommend you
I
guys
do
reading
not
it because
wanna
I'm
read it.
pretty sure he fucks with her birth control.
Oh god, why
Oh,
is it a
you love
trope?
that.
No, I don't like fucking with birth control.
You don't?
No, I'm not into
I thought
it.
you
I
like
just,
breeding.
Yeah, but I don't like fucking with birth control. I like it when
Yeah.
everyone's consenting to being bred,
Yeah.
not like so.
To
As
being
much as I love
bred.
Gemma, as much as I love Gemma Weir, my least favorite book that she wrote is the one where he fucks with her birth control.
Where yeah.
I don't like that.
Doesn't he just like throw them out?
No, he just keeps giving her the sugar pills.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the only one that I
Yeah.
really was just like
Yeah,
go see a doctor, like go get some
Entrapment.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't like that because it's like it's her body. Make a choice, you know. Let her make
Yeah.
the choice. It's really, as much as it is everyone's decision, it's mostly hers. There, I said it.
Yeah, and like
Everyone can
carrying
get
a
fucked.
baby,
I truly believe
getting
that.
pregnant and giving birth. It's like that has nothing to do with men. And
No,
it actually has
and
absolutely nothing to do with them.
If we have to go through the stretch marks and the fucking shoving a watermelon out of our vagina
Being
hole,
sick, and you're sick,
being sick,
for a really
being
long time.
fucking disgusting, hating your life, probably
Losing your
having
identity as a woman.
Losing your individual identity.
Probably, yeah.
Massive
And then like
issue
putting
with
on
being
heaps of
pregnant.
weight and then struggling to lose it afterwards unless you fucking feed that child from your tits. Like just really
Postpartum
And
is-
then
depression.
and then you have a newborn child. Like, what about if you?
and
want
then a guy's
to do
like,
things?
oh, I think we should name him Fred. Like, fuck off, you don't even get to look at him.
Oh my god!
I want to
Story.
name him after my father.
Baby story.
Time.
Co-worker's daughter named her son Ogilvy.
What is that?
Tell him
What's
what the other
Ogilvy?
kid's name is.
Clyde and Ogilvy. That's what she's named her children.
Sorry, you just cut out. What was the other name?
Clyde.
Clytie.
And Ogilvy.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like body
Silly.
parts.
Well,
It does,
Ogilvy
eh?
is a syndrome where your colon gets blocked.
Oh,
It's
is
called
it?
Ogilvy syndrome, and Clytie is a water nymph from Greek mythology, so basically a sex worker. So you've named one child after a sex worker and another after a colon impairment.
A bowel obstruction.
Yeah.
I have questions.
Me too.
But at the same time, I don't, because in New Zealand, everything fucking flies when it comes to names. It's
Yeah, there's a
you guys are known
very
for
short
it.
list of band names.
Yeah.
It's not
And like,
short.
because a name has to be used for it to be banned. So, like, for a name to make it onto the banned list, and a baby has to be registered with.
Can I just give you some of the names which I know off by heart? Kitchen,
Fish and chips.
fish, chips,
Yeah.
laundry, fridge.
Why are we so obsessed with like household?
Do you know how I know this? Because it's actually in the news in Australia when somebody names a
No.
stupid baby name in New Zealand.
There are other ones too. Like, I'm pretty sure somebody tried to name their kid like 420 something, or like
Yeah.
there's other stuff like that.
There's a lot of
Jesus.
like a lot of regal names. Like you can't name your kid like Captain,
Yeah, you can't name your
Lord.
kid like
Yeah.
Queen,
Prince,
Okay.
Princess.
Prince, Princess. Yeah, I mean that's just the Commonwealth. That's not anything fun.
Yeah,
It's just the Commonwealth being like you can't.
Do we have a favorite part of this book? Sorry, like
When it ended.
Like it read really quickly.
Yeah.
It did read
you know,
really
like,
quickly.
It
one
read
and done,
really, really
pretty much.
quickly.
Yeah, that was one sit session for me.
same. It is one of those books where you feel bonded by knowing that other people have read it with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're alone. I messaged somebody in like a little group chat that we've got going and I was like, has anyone read this book? And I got a private message. I don't think that they want to publicly tell anyone that they hated the book, but they privately messaged us and they were like, this is the worst thing I've ever fucking read. And I don't understand why people like it. And I was like, you are my spirit
Well, we
sister.
have established by now that like people aren't the best judges. The general public has terrible taste.
Oh,
And that's all that
hold
this
up.
podcast has taught me.
No, not true. A lot of our listeners have great taste. Don't shit on
I'm not
them
talking about
all.
our listeners. I'm talking
Oh.
about the general public.
Yeah, anybody
Yeah, but
that's
a lot-
like, it's a TikTok curse because this is a TikTok book. I found it on TikTok, and it was one of those books where you like get like they give you like a little snippet of the book, and it's usually like an erotic or like a sexy scene to get you interested in it. And I was like, ooh, this sexy, I like it, and then we read it.
I like it. And the next book we've got
Like-
is a TikTok book, but I have to say I'm fucking obsessed with it, and I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if you guys are gonna like it or not, but I don't give a fuck because when I read it, because I am a mood reader, I just wanted smart, and I remember just being like, "Fuck yeah, let's pull the vibrator out, let's go."
Is this Dragon's Bride?
No,
Not pucking around.
fucking around.
Pucking around. Oh,
I fucking loved it. I was like, this is the best thing ever for me
it's
right
so
now.
long.
It was-
It's so long.
It's so long, and I know, but I warned you. I was like, this is 700 pages of sex, and in our last episode, you can hear you going, I can't wait. But then you don't realize what you're getting into when you do 700 pages of just pure sex. It is so much. And there
Oh,
is
I
no
actually can't
storyline.
wait
I don't
for-
remember what the storyline is.
I can't wait for that episode because Betty had some visceral reactions to that book.
I actually nearly vomited. Sorry, just
From which
pre-warning.
book?
From a scene in
Pucking
Pucking
Around.
Around.
Why?
We'll talk about it next week.
We'll talk about it next week.
That is wild.
That's my
What is wrong
That's my
with you?
pre-warning. I've
Do
got
you
a
just not-
sensitive. I got a sensitive stomach.
Also, do you just not do reverse harem? Is that like what one of the
No,
major
no,
issues
well,
is?
no. I'll tell you. After the recording, I'll tell you. But I'll let the audience wait until we actually talk about the book to like explain.
We're
why.
recording the next episode right after this. Fuck that. I want to know straight up.
I haven't actually finished it. I've still got like a couple hundred pages left.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna finish it on my night shift.
I fucking love that book.
Anyway, Fractured Freedom. Has anybody got anything that they actually liked? They enjoyed.
I did not
I,
like how she tricked him into having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
I liked.
Also, completely unconsensual.
What?
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that in.
That's
there
not
because
that's
I
not the
thought-
question I asked.
I know, but
That's
like
what
I
you
just,
liked.
yeah, I liked that it was funny. I don't know what to
I'm like
tell you.
I'm trying to think of like a specific scene, but all the ones that I go like, oh no, there was a reason why I didn't like that, and it just keeps on happening. Like I didn't like her character, didn't really like his character,
I didn't
really
like any of the
Jim Sisters' character.
characters.
Nah.
I thought
also,
all the characters were very
like,
two-dimensional.
The scene where like they're fucking in the pool and he lets like his like right hand man watch.
Yeah.
I up until that point I had been picturing the right hand man as like an older, chubby, like balding, like Italian American man because that's like
That
what
didn't
I thought.
seem like it was a super consensual scene to me for some reason. Like when I read it, I felt ick.
From that one.
I felt very ick.
It was
from
pretty
that one.
ick.
It did not feel
Yeah.
good. It did not feel like it was natural. It didn't feel like they'd had a conversation about it. Like it just felt forced and like whatever he says goes because he's a dominant and he just gave her a safe word instead of being like, let's have a conversation about this. And he was a shit dominant. And I think that is an exact example of what
Yeah.
not to do if you are in a
Bad,
dominant and submissive relationship.
Bad kink etiquette.
It was
Isn't it?
foul. And it's obvious to me that the author has done zero research and just thinks all you need is a fucking safe word. Naughty.
There's like the
Naughty.
bandage over the
Go
fucking
do
like
some
gaping
research.
wound.
I doesn't. You guys have not answered my question.
Because there is no answer. We're beyond
It
that.
was just like the general vibes, like were okay.
That's what I mean. Like there were so many bad things in this book, but like I read it and I kind of like didn't hate it at the end. I was like, oh, okay.
That's why
I
I read it
didn't
like a
hate
2.5
it.
because I just thought it was like very middle of the road.
I was just like, you know, if I had the option, I probably wouldn't read it again.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't read it again.
I mean, like,
Is it just another book that needs like a really good edit?
probably,
I
but
just think it
also,
needs a new
like,
plot.
I remember you saying, Betty, like, you read the blurb 2 weeks ago and you were like, I think I fucked up on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You openly said that to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you fucked up on this one because it's really important that we do these TikTok books to show people that TikTok is a lie. It's all bullshit.
Out here saving lives, man.
We're saving lives one
The white
TikTok book
knights.
at a time. We're not just saving lives, we're saving eyes.
I actually wish I kind of wish we did end up reading Fourth Wing, but Fourth Wing is very, very long, and I don't think it has very many smart scenes in
There's
it.
only like 2 sex scenes.
There's
in it,
2
I
sex
think.
scenes at the end, and apparently they're quite spicy.
Yeah, I will
Maybe we
eventually.
But I
Really
think
do,
I
yeah.
think the point of Fourth Wing, what I reckon we should do is just wait until it's done and then read it
The series
over
is
a
out.
summer holiday or something like that, so that we can go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
I'd
meant
be
to be
happy to
4
do that
books,
because
right?
I hate reading books in series when they're not complete because then you finish it and you're like,
I'm still fucking
know?
off you with Scarlett St. Clair's fucking Touch of Darkness because
Yeah,
that
still not
last
finished
fucking
yet.
book is going to take
Oh,
6
yeah.
years to come out.
Yeah. Sadly.
yeah.
You know, people are already getting fourth wing tattoos on their body, which means the book has to be something else. I've seen like hundreds of people getting the dragons from the spines.
Okay, so
Yeah, but let's also remember that like people had
Sarah
like
J.
full
Maas
portraits of
and-
like, Edward's face on their back and stuff, and like the Twilight
whose?
craze.
Twilight, yeah, and
Edward
also can I
Cullen,
talk
yeah.
about After and also what's the other one? 50 Shades. People have tattoos of that shit.
Yes,
That's
so they
fucking
should.
embarrassing.
After?
Like, not only are
No,
you into
sorry,
like
Betty,
like
you're
a
on your own,
BDSM,
babe.
like the fucking 50 Shades of Grey thing. That's fucking weird because not only are you like publicly advertising that you like BDSM books, but you're advertising that you like really bad BDSM books.
There's nothing wrong with advertising on your body that you like BDSM books. It's
Just like make sure
the
it's not.
problem
It's like
is-
one that's like representative of the community.
exactly not this book. Like, don't get anything freedom, whatever the fuck. What is it called? Freedom Fighter?
Fractured
reading?
freedom.
Oh, Fractured Freedom. I don't fucking know.
Guerrilla warfare.
Freedom fighter.
Fractured Freedom. Don't get any of that shit tattooed on you because then we'll know that you've got.
It's saying that
absolutely
these fourth
shittest
wing
face.
tattoos are beautiful. Like they're just like 3 tiny little dragons, and they're actually
Oh.
really beautiful tattoos.
But what's the one with the chick that the chick in the really sad books? The 3 really, really sad ones that you guys tried to force me to read.
Ravenhood.
That's another one that everyone gets tattooed. We love
We
the
like
rain,
rainy
don't wanna-
days or something. I didn't even.
Oh,
I
fuck
actually
off.
was not
I don't
emotionally
think- I
moved
don't
by
think-
that.
Neither was I. That's why when I first read it, I told you guys I was like the scene that everybody's sad at. I don't think it's that sad because it's actually just kind of like irrelevant to the plot.
It's
by
also
that point.
weirdly in a really weird place in the book.
Yeah,
It's like halfway through the second book, or like 3/4 of the way through the second book, which I always think is a really weird place to put a character death. Sorry if you
Yeah.
haven't.
Oh,
read
just in
Ravenhood.
case, spoilers for anyone. But
Ravenhood's
it's
been out for a
obvious.
long
No,
time.
like you look at the fucking quote and you know somebody's dying.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
oh, Megan
That-
Brandy
that wasn't what
and
made
Amo Jones wrote a Paranormal Romance, which was released today. I don't know what it's
Emma
called.
Jones does a lot of taboo, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does really dark. So Megan Brandy,
I think she has a
Amo
lot of,
Jones
like,
came
banned
together and they made a paranormal.
Who's Megan Brandy again? What
That's
did
a-
she write?
Megan Brandy did Say You Swear.
Ah, yeah, good shit.
Yeah.
We should read it.
Yeah,
I think we should.
I'd wanna
Apparently
read
it's
that.
incredible.
I like
Didn't Amo
Megan.
Jones do Sick Fucks, whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently that was real.
She's
quite
coming
extreme.
onto the podcast at some point and she's fucking stoked.
Good.
Yeah, I love talking to
I
taboo
love
authors.
taboo writers.
They
There's
have
something
something,
about
in
them,
them,
man.
don't they? Like when we
They
spoke to
do,
Jay
they are.
West, I still
Oh my
feel
God.
like that was one of my favorite authors to talk to. A, because she can talk for 3 hours straight and she's so fucking interesting. And B, they're just unhinged.
There's something about
on
them,
the
man.
best
Like Nyla,
level.
Nyla K, yeah.
just a good time.
The best time. Nyla Kay puts up photos of her little cock pillows
Love it.
Yeah.
and her little crocheted dicks. Like, I love her. And I always message her. I'm
No,
like,
they
I fucking love
embrace
this.
the lifestyle. You know, like they don't go in pretending to be, classy fucking highbrow writers. They're like, this is filth. It's disgusting. Let's make people.
I know, like when
push
you
to
look
the
at Kay
limits.
Webster, she's got a new book coming out which is linked to the Wild and Free or whatever the fuck series or something.
Yeah.
And she's just like, it's probably going to get banned. So here's already
Yeah.
another way of getting this book, and this is the story. Like, you're probably going to want to not read it.
If I was
Yeah.
an author, I would like strive to be on the banned.
Aren't you
books
meant
list.
to be an author by now? Like, you were given a New Year's resolution to finish the fucking book.
Yeah, but it's hard.
I've given up. It's Betty's problem now.
But I like reading them. like
Imagine
reading
if
books
you
so
two just
much.
ran the podcast.
There wouldn't be a podcast.
Yeah, what do you want about?
Podcast?
Every day, every
Yeah.
Tuesday, I get absolutely surprised that we're meant to be releasing an episode.
I know. And
It's like the
sometimes
same every week.
I try and like post a thing being like, oh, you know, we've got an episode coming out to remind you that we've got an episode coming out, because I don't want to text you and be like, Betty, remember to put this episode up, because I don't want to be a bitch and up your ass.
I've got a Google
it would be like-
Calendar alert.
It would be like your luck that the one time that you message her, she'd be like, I've already fucking done it.
Yeah, totally.
Get off my dick.
And she'd literally be like, get off my dick. Exactly. That is so true.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I know what I'm doing. I've done this for the last fucking year and a half. Can you back the fuck up?
I still forget every single Tuesday. I'm like, I feel like I have
Yeah.
something to do today. And I'm like,
I
oh my god,
remember-
the podcast.
One time you forgot, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything because obviously, like, fucking something real bad's happened. But the next day you put up a thing going, I'm just a fucking idiot and I forgot. Soz. Here's the thing. And I was like,
I
okay,
just
nothing
literally-
bad happened. She just forgot.
That was just an idiot.
Yeah. She's like,
forgot.
I don't know how I got this job, but here I am, and here's the link.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Any favorite sex scenes?
I can't remember them.
I
Gone.
can't remember any
My
of
my
them.
brain has been changed and impacted from that one scene in Pucking Around that I cannot remember any sex scenes I've ever read.
Is it a scene where where one of the guys gets his face cut open with a blade or something?
No.
No, it was a sex scene. It wasn't like
You'll
Oh,
find
I
out.
see.
I'll tell you afterwards. I don't know, a little tidbit for the audience. Come back next week, find out what scene nearly made me vomit.
I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to think through it, and I'm like, this is pretty. Like, I thought it was very chill reverse harem compared to other ones that we've read. So, I don't understand what
It
was
is.
on
It's
it,
not
so-
like not that bad. It just affected me. It just yeah.
I just like sometimes I just feel like we're not real people. Like sometimes
What? We're
when
not.
we talk, I'm like they're like we're actually in an institution and this is not real.
We're all just
when
in our
we
head.
hang up at the end
Yeah.
of the episode, I just shut down. I just stay in this chair and I just turn it on and off whenever I'm needed.
Do you really?
We're all
Not real.
yeah. We're all in your head, Ola.
Yeah.
This podcast
totally.
isn't going live. You're just making this up. You're currently sat in
Probably.
a padded room, just talking
You're
to
making up
yourself.
all of
like-
all of the people that follow us
If
on
if
Instagram and stuff.
but here's the thing. If I was making this up, why the fuck would I choose you two to join me?
Because we're like your conscience.
We're your
the
sub-
devil
More
Well,
of
yeah.
a
You
conscious.
can't
Shut,
choose.
Betty. Shut up. Betty,
like your
go away. Okay,
I'm
I
like
just
your
don't have. Shut up.
Your
Stop.
insecurity.
You're my insecurity.
Like I'm
I feel better about myself.
I'm metastasized.
Oh my
Like
God,
everything
that's
you
so
hate
funny.
about yourself, you just made into a person.
That's not
Yeah, dude.
true. I love you.
You've
Yeah.
given her flesh. Now she's real.
Now I'm mean to you and give it you back.
You're not mean to me. You love me.
Yeah, I could be a lot meaner.
But you won't be.
I won't.
That was a challenge.
Yeah,
I'm so
you're not gonna
nice.
be.
Challenge.
I'm never gonna be mean.
Well, questionable. Sometimes you can. Sometimes when you send me a message and it's like Ola, and I'm like, "What the fuck have I done?" And then the next thing will be like, "Oh, what book are we reading this week?" But I'm expecting a message going, "Can you just fucking control yourself and sort this out?" Or
It is
like,
not my fault that you decipher my tone via text as always being mean.
okay. Can I just say something? You have one tone.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not mean, it's just sort of like flat. It's just like
I text like a middle-aged man.
I know. Actually, my favorite texting has been recently with you about the last few books we've been reading. I feel like we've been talking a lot more about the books that we've been reading, and it's fucking hilarious. It's just so funny because we're on two completely
actually-
opposite pages.
yeah. That is one thing that I have liked about living with Betty this year is that I don't ever open the group chat or respond to anything. I just get Betty to like read out what's happening. So like I'm still involved in the conversations. I'm just sat on the other couch.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just. What's up, Dane?
What? You tell them something and then they don't remember.
Oh, we need like a studio.
So afraid just then. Can I use that as our Instagram snippet? Just a video of him going. walking
Now
to
he's in
the-
his work clothes. He doesn't look nice.
Oh,
Okay.
no,
What are we doing
goodness.
next week?
Next week we're doing Pucking Around. And next episode after this one we'll be Pucking Around.
Alrighty. We'll tune in, boys and girls.
Actually,
I don't
our
actually
next
think it
episode
is.
after
I
this
think
one
it's
is Carly.
Carly. It's
Okay,
Carly
But
from
we might have
Aurora.
to do a little.
Whatever
it's
it
Carly
is,
from Aurora.
just listen, please. For the love of God.
Just be here in a week.
Yeah. Doesn't matter
Something
what's
will
coming
be
up.
there.
You just know that we'll be there. Always.
We actually have
forever.
no idea what we're doing at this point, and it's my fault. And I'm really
Yeah, it
sorry,
is.
everyone.
You should be.
Yeah.
I'm so confused all the time. I'm reading more books than I've ever had to read in my entire life.
I actually should have probably reread Pucking Around, but then I just thought, no.
Okay.
enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I physically can't. I just want to watch Dance Moms.
Honestly. Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now.
Alright. Well, see you next
Alright.
week, kids.
Okay, bye.
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 Thank you for listening to Girls Who Read Porn. Follow us at Girls Who Read Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And for all business inquiries, please send us an email on girlswhoreadporn@gmail.com. Art created by Jessica Wanney and music made by Dane Forgy Stevens. See you next week and stay smutty, team.